Welcome to More Than Mortgage. I'm Chad Anderson. That guy is Zach Jones. We're going to talk credit scores today. Credit scores. Why is your credit score so different than the one that we pull? Well, my credit, Zach, it's 718. No, sir, it's 646. No, Zach, my credit score is 794.
Ouch.
It's 794. I just checked it. No, sir, it's 683. No, Zach, you're wrong. Why, Zach, do we have different credit models for different types of credit that is extended in our country? I'm going to hand the baton to you because you explain it so much better than I do. But please educate us on this whole credit fiasco that we have going on in the mortgage world.
Well, it's a mystery to a lot of people. And if it's not a mystery to you, it's just because you don't know about it yet, and it's going to come up and it's going to be a mystery. The Credit Karma services of the world, even if it's a direct monitoring from Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, the three big bureaus, those are consumer-facing monitoring models that give you an idea of what your score is. Most of the time, those scores are I'll speak specifically to Credit Karma because that's the one that I've tracked the longest. Oftentimes, an average of 40 to 50 points off from what we pull, and that's negative, which means that the Credit Karma score is higher by 40 or 50 points on average than what we pull in the mortgage industry. So why is that? Why can't we get a standardized credit scoring model that everybody has access to? Well, I'd say follow the money. The credit bureaus and the credit monitoring companies want to make some money, so they give you the cheap and inaccurate score is I think a part of it. But also, when you look at the different types of credit that are extended, some credit is more serious than others. And so what I usually tell people, hey, we're having the discussion. You have a general idea of your credit score? Yeah, I got on Credit Karma at 780, and I say, okay, well, oftentimes when we pull in the mortgage business, it's 30, 40, 50 points off of that on average. So we'll need to pull a full hard pull, tri-merge, 3-score credit report and see where we land before we can really accurately price your loan. Well, why is that different? And I usually say, if you go to Old Navy or Target and they're offering you 15% off of your purchase at the register to open up an Old Navy card or a Target card, and they want to give you a $500 balance on that credit card, they can do that in a snap at the register and not even really slow the line down. Very informal process. They're only giving you a $500 credit line. But when you go to the mortgage guy or the mortgage gal, you're asking for $500,000. It's a more serious relationship. And so there's underwriting involved and there's income verification involved. And we have to do a lot more. So it's maybe you could equate it to getting graded in junior college versus an Ivy League university. It's just a more serious algorithm because the stakes are higher and the risk is greater to the lender. So I think that's the simplest way to understand it.
Yeah, it's funny because I hear the stories all the time. I've always paid my bills on time, and it's like, well, what about this one little collection here? It's like, oh yeah, well that thing, that's where AT&T was wrong, and that was already paid for. So like,
Right.
2 or 3 of the big things that I always hear is one, somebody misses a payment or they get into a pissing contest with Verizon or Comcast or whatever, and they say, well, that's already settled. I've already paid that. Great, but you still had the collection. Like, you don't get to go back and be like, fine, here's your money, raise my score. Like, the deed is done. The goose is cooked. You now have that on your credit report.
Funny you mentioned Verizon and Comcast because those are the primary offenders. Don't ever get in a contest with those two. Just pay. It's a lot easier. Just pay it.
It really is. Then you have another one with where people, I had this come up the other day, where credit card balances, had gone up or whatever. They could pay their bills, but they just had gotten a little higher than normal. They did a balance transfer. But when they did the balance transfer, they closed the other card. So by closing the other card, you remove all of your good on-time pay history. So
Right.
that's what killed them. They didn't realize it. They thought, well, I don't need the credit anymore. I closed that credit. I don't have any credit lingering out there.
And maybe they also opened up a new card for the balance transfer. So that's
Oh, they
two
had to.
dings on the score.
They had to. And the thing that people have to remember is that having credit available is not the enemy. It's being above certain thresholds and balances, like having balances over 30, 40, or 50% of your available limit. If you've got a $5,000 limit and you run a $4,000 monthly balance on there, that's going to ding you versus the person who has a balance of $500. So it's those types of things. Like, it's not just one. That's what I see the most. People take the lens that looks the best, that's most in their favor. Well, yeah, but I've always made my payments on time. You have, but you run a $4,000 balance on a $5,000 limit. And that makes people worried that you're going to get overextended and not be able to repay, and then it's going to be a problem. So those are like such common mistakes. Zach explained it great as well. Like, it's just different formulas, different algorithms, different scoring models. But bottom line, let one of us pull your credit. We can do soft pulls. We can do it without hurting your score. We can give you some ideas, as to how to improve your score, if that's something you're looking at as well. But lots of different options. Bottom line, don't believe what you see on the internet or these freebies or these, oh, my bank told me my score, like a Wells Fargo checking account or something. Trust the mortgage people. They're the ones who have all the details. Any last thought?
That's all, man. That's all. Don't make the mistake of applying reason to the credit world. You need to know what the rules are, and the rules are not always reasonable. They're not always logical.
Logical, yeah. Common sense doesn't necessarily pertain to the credit world in some cases. So, all right, thanks for hanging out with us. 65 episodes down. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, download, DM, share, all the good things. Appreciate you following us and interacting with us. We do enjoy it and have a lot of fun with this. So have a great rest of the week, and we'll catch you next week with a new episode. Take care.
See you next time.